Alright guys, we're here today in Crew Family Philippines. I'm here with my friend Paul, and we're going to do a video about grumpy old men in the Philippines. And see how that goes today. These are their top 10 complaints. Number 1, traffic.
Yours is traffic.
Yeah.
Okay. Traffic is a good one. I found out here that traffic is cyclical. So I've learned over the years that if I leave at a certain time, I'm going to hit massive traffic.
Right.
And if I leave at another time, it's going to be not good, but it'll be
Better.
And better.
So Sunday is much better.
Yeah, like today is Sunday. So coming down here was easy peasy. But traffic is, I'm on high alert at all times.
Yeah, you it's like you have to have eyes in the back of your head here.
You do.
Everything going on so fast around you.
Yeah, I drive slow, number 1.
Right.
And there's always the opportunity or the chance of a kid or a dog or something just coming out of nowhere.
Or a motorcycle pulling right out in front of you, not even looking your way, just turning
Motorcycle. There's my own misbehavior where I've zoned out because I'm driving along and nothing's going wrong. And then I kind of mentally check out because I'm just hauling down the highway. And then something does happen and I'm not ready for it.
Yeah.
And so, fortunately, I've never had any severe accidents. I've dropped my bike a couple times. Now that I have an opportunity to drive a car every now and then, I'm really hyper worried about hurting someone else.
Oh yeah.
You know, so
I'm not waiting in the van too.
man, oh man, my heart is much more racing when I'm riding a car.
Yeah.
And people jump out or come out and May closes her eyes. She's just like,
Hopefully she doesn't do that when she decides.
she knows it's coming, you know, and it doesn't, but it's scary. So yeah, traffic will make you grumpy, but you can lessen the load, if you will, on picking the time to go. And like anything else, I think just knowing in the future that it's going to be ugly.
Yeah.
You know,
plan on it.
Just say, you know what, this is not going to be pretty.
Yeah.
And when someone blows a big puff of diesel fumes in your face, or somebody cuts you off, or someone's not looking, you got 2 options. You can either just let it happen, let it go, or you can get pissed off about it. I scream and yell when I'm in my car.
Yeah, me too.
Nobody can hear me. I'm like, you idiot. You know? But that's the good news is that it's just me venting.
The only problem is like, if Ariel happens to be in the van, then I start doing it, and then she's like, don't talk like that, don't do that, calm down.
No, and May's used to it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I don't think Ariel's
At
ever
first she took it personally, like I was yelling at her. And
Yeah,
I said,
she
no,
does
it's
too.
just me venting, you know.
And don't talk bad about my people. This is my country. These are my people. What are you doing? Okay.
So, yeah, traffic will make you grumpy. And, you know, then it gets hot outside or you're driving home and it starts to rain. I'm talking about being on a motorbike. And I've just made it a rule not to drive at night. Even though I went to a wedding reception a 3 nights ago, and I drove home at 8 o'clock at night and there was no traffic, so it was really a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Right.
But if it's raining and and it gets foggy out and I can't see, and then I wear glasses and they get foggy because the things steam up.
Right.
It's just better.
Extra row. Yeah.
You know. All right, so that's one thing I get grumpy about.
2 out of stock. When you go into places and people say they're out of stock.
Again, I walk into that whole deal. It used to make me really crazy that you would walk into McDonald's and they would be out of stock on something like French fries.
Yeah.
Just to me, it just doesn't compute, you know. And there was a time during the virus thing where 9 out of 10 breakfast items at a McDonald's was out of stock.
Right.
And I just sort of said, well, that's ridiculous, but it's shipping problems, receiving problems. That was an exceptional time. But out of stock is another thing that I just plan to fail when I leave the house.
Right.
And that is a cure for my grumpiness. I needed a cord from my phone to my car dashboard so I could get maps on it.
Right.
And I went to 5 places in Robinson's Mall, and every one of them said no. Right. I tell myself, I have to remind myself, do I get grumpy? Yeah. Do I yell or scream or get, when I asked the kid at Octagon, do you have any of these certain kinds of cords? He said, I'm sorry, sir, they're out of stock. I said, okay, thank you. I walked away.
Another good thing I've noticed to do is what you just said. When you go to buy something, if you can take either a photo on your phone of it or take it with you if you have it. That'll help you a lot, because a lot of times I get out of stock. Sorry, sir, we're out of stock. And then I go through the store and I find the item. Well, I'm not going to go back and throw it in his face. Hey, you got these things, what's not? But if I would have showed him that item and he would have understood exactly what I was looking for, I probably wouldn't have had that problem.
Hindsight being 2020, I realized when I went in and asked this gentleman, you have this USB-C cord.
Right.
He didn't know what I was talking about.
Exactly.
And he just said, no, sir, that's stock for the safe face. I now learned that if I had walked into that store and said, where are the cables to the phones at? He would have said that wall. I would have said, he would have known that. I would have, okay.
Right.
And guess what? It was there. Because that's where I bought it. The next day was the same store. I thought about it. I said, you know what? That kid didn't know what I was talking about. He didn't want to tell me something. He didn't want to look. They don't want to look like they don't know.
Right.
And I get it. So, anyway, when they're out of stock, and you made a good point. A lot of times they're in stock. The mistake is asking someone.
Right.
It's like asking for directions.
Right.
They'll say it's over there, just to get rid of you. So, whenever May asks somebody for help, I'm like, what are you bothering for? Just get to the general area.
We need hardware, just go to the hardware part and look.
That's right.
Hopefully it's there, not the next time.
That's right. But that can make you snap every now and then. And then you get to that point, you just got to do a gut check and say, I am in a foreign country. I don't know the language. I'm a visitor. I need to be on my best behavior. And it doesn't do any good to lose your
No, I see that stuff.
It doesn't do you any good. It doesn't do the guy any good. It doesn't do.
Yeah, I've seen it happen before where people are just, pounding the waitress or pounding the girl in the store. It's embarrassing for me because, I'm a foreigner too, and it makes me look like I'm an idiot too. I'm going to lose my patience every time I do something like that.
I go back to that French fry story.
Yeah.
I just said, okay, what do you have? And I ordered it. And then another guy came in that was a foreigner. And I said, oh, this is going to be great. And I was waiting for my order, and sure enough, when she said we don't have any fries, he lost his cookies.
Yeah.
And to the girl that's a cashier, she doesn't know where the French fries.
It's not her fault. She don't even know where they're coming from.
She doesn't have a hotline to headquarters. It's just like, what are you getting mad for? But it makes us all look bad. And grumpy is okay as long as you're alone and nobody else can hear you.
Right. Just go in your car, go in your house and scream your head off, or go to the woods or whatever you got to do. Our number 3 one is animal noises, dogs and roosters, what have you.
Yep, be prepared for that because they are here. They were here before you were.
They'll be here long after we're gone. And
they're not going anywhere quick. They're breeding a lot faster than us old boys.
Oh yeah.
So,
especially the dogs. There's puppies every day.
If that's probably the most annoying for guys when they're trying to sleep in or they move into a place. I have a good friend that moved into a place. It was beautiful, and it wasn't until about 3 days later that he discovered there was a pack of about a dozen dogs that went into a dog fight every morning at 5 or 6 o'clock.
Yeah, and the owner fed dogs, stray dogs too, along with his own dogs. So
right. So,
get any sleep.
Animal noises are going to occur. They're going to be here. If the only thing I learned to do was try to scope the place out, the apartment or the house.
In the morning and at night and weekends.
Yep.
Karaoke, chickens, dogs.
And that doesn't always work either because I scoped my place out. It was perfect. And then when the pandemic ended, they opened up and a karaoke house opened up the street from me. So it can only take it so long. But I shut my front door. I can't hear it. I turn on the TV.
Yeah,
and
turn it
I
up.
be shut off. And that's
all
the end of
good.
that.
How about number 4, restaurant staff?
That is another one where I think you need to be proactive. And that comes with time. When you sit down at a restaurant, not all, many, the staff will just look at you. And in America, where we're from, we're not used to that. We're used to a waiter or a waitress, a server, I guess is the proper name. They come over, they say hi, and they bring you a glass of water, they give you a menu, and you know what you want, and you need a few minutes, and we need a few minutes. And that's what we bring over to the Philippines with us, is that mentality. You got to drop it. It's over with. And so I'll walk in to a restaurant now, and I'll just walk up to the counter and say, do you have a menu or 2 menus?
Right.
And get them.
I do the same thing. And I ask for my drink right there. If I want something to drink right now, I'm thirsty, I've been on the road or whatever, I ask them for the drink right now, because if not, they're going to bring it when they bring the food.
And then you have to summon the guy, which I always feel weird doing. I don't like doing this or anything.
Yeah.
You know, so usually I'm with May, and she'll say, hey, Dong, which means boy, or Die, which means girl. And they'll come over, and I always find it offensive to point to somebody.
Yeah, that's the way we were raised.
I don't like doing it. I still don't feel comfortable with it. But it's necessary. And it's the same thing when you go to pay the friggin' bill.
You gotta look for somebody to pay for your bill.
Can I please get the bill? They'll bring you the bill, and I always try.
Then they walk away. Yeah, if you don't have the cash right then,
they split.
They're gone.
They drop the bill down, they walk away, and it's another 10 minutes.
Yeah, looking for them to come back and get your money. Oh, yeah.
So, what I've learned to do there, if possible, is I just take the bill and walk it up to the cashier.
Yeah,
if
me
they've
too.
got one, pay it off.
And if I can't get the cashier, I'll walk to the waitress.
Give him a tip, I say thank you very much. And or, again, if I walk in already armed with that information, I know that I'm going to have another 10 minutes of conversation with whoever I'm talking to while I'm waiting for my change, or waiting for my bill. And I just think I kind of have a 2-to-1 analogy out here that's going to take twice as long to do the thing as it normally does back home. And then I remind myself that number one, I'm not home anymore. And I came out here for a change, and I got it. But it will make you grumpy. Just because maybe you got to get out and go.
The number 5 is just what you just said, time to accomplish a task. Whether that's LTO or whether that's going to the grocery store or whatever that.
Yeah, there is, again, this comes with time, and it comes with different islands, I'm sure, and different cities. But there is the right time to go to Hypermart, for example, and the right day to go to Hypermart. There's the wrong day to go to 7-Eleven, and
don't go to the Hypermart on the 3rd or the 4th.
Yep. For sure. Don't go to the bank on Fridays, the 1st of the month or the 15th of the month. That's when everybody gets paid. People get paid. Fridays is a big day. So if, for example, if May needs to get money out of her account, I'll drive her over to the mall at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. Nobody's there, but the ATM's still working. So boom, in you go. Boom, we're in, we're out, it's over with, and that's that. And then I also have a backup plan when it comes to ATMs, because I know where the other one is, in case the one that we just go to is out of money. Or inoperative, or whatever. So there's always plan A, plan B, but it is going to take you longer than normal to do what you take for granted.
Yeah, when you're used to, like, okay, I'm going to go to the LTO, which is the
Land Transportation equals the DMV.
Right, that's what I was going to say. So you figure that, and you figure, okay, well, it's going to be like America. I'm going to be there 2 or 3 hours waiting, and then I can get in if I don't have an appointment. That's not going to happen here. You might be there, you might get there at 7 in the morning. You might stay there till 5 o'clock. They might tell you, you got to go home, here's your ticket for tomorrow. See you then. And you just you can't lose it, you can't get mad. I mean, this is their government, their life, their situation. We can't change it. So getting angry about it's not going to help any situation.
I got my 3rd notice today. I showed you that my marriage to May, which is 3 months ago, is still not recognized by the Philippines. 250 pesos to get our marriage certificate. And we've done this 3 times now. And they say, hey, your delivery's here. And we go, oh, great, finally we did our thing. It's a big official piece of paper saying, now we don't know about being married.
Sorry.
We found that there's a wiggle room way. We were talking about it earlier.
Right.
To go down to the PSA office here,
Right.
which we found out from, what's it called, JRC Consulting, when I went to go renew my passport visa, that there is a shortcut, and there is a way to make that happen. And that information just kind of came out of casual conversation. And we've been banging our heads against the wall for a month.
I've got to do mine too, and it's like that.
And then finally I said, man, you know what, baby, it's just going to happen when it happens.
Yep.
If it takes 6 months, it takes 6 months. There's nothing critical here. It's holding me up from getting a driver's license. It's holding me up from getting a Mayan visa. But oh well, we're still alive, we're still healthy, we're still happy. And so that's the attitude that we kind of have to take. But it is something that paperwork here is relentless. And going to get a driver's license, I went 5 days in a row. And each day it was, I thought I had everything. Nope, but no, I was missing something else. There's no such thing as a complete list of what you need to get a driver's license that they hand you. They just sort of tell you step by step. You get step 1 done, you come back, they tell you what step 2 is. And then you come back with step 2, they tell you you need a photocopy. It's like, why didn't you tell me that when I went over there to go do it the first time? I could have got a photocopy.
Oh, you know now. Go do it.
That'll leave you grumpy.
Yeah. So, number 6 would be brownouts. We're not used to that back in where we come from. That's once in a great while. But here it's sometimes monthly, bi-weekly, bi-daily, 3 or 4 times. You never know what's going to happen.
Brownout is when the electricity just goes off, internet just goes off. They have scheduled brownouts where they make an announcement, and the foreigners here are pretty good at getting the word out.
Right.
Like Saturday, there's going to be a brownout, maybe from 6 in the morning till 6 at night. This area is affected, this one's not.
Right.
And I'm actually cool with that because forewarned is forearmed.
Right.
So it's like, okay, if I want to take a shower, I'm not taking it at 5 o'clock in the morning with hot water.
Right.
And if not, not. But at least we can make plans to escape it and go to a resort. Or last big long brownout, man, I turned it into a road trip.
Yeah,
and we just drove to Chateau, and we drove here, and we drove there, and we came home and just gutted out the last few hours of it because it wasn't that hot up where I live. And the lights came on, and like I said, no one died, no one, nothing severe happened. But you got to remember what, I don't know how long ago, 100 years, we didn't have electricity, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And so how did most people live for 2,000 years?
Yeah, my neighbors don't have electricity running to their house. So, I told them, hey, there's a brownout, and they're like, yeah, so what? We don't care. Doesn't affect us. We take cold showers and we don't have the light.
The brownouts will happen when you're working on the phone or your computer, and boom, off goes the lights.
Yeah.
Or it's really, really hot and off goes the fan.
Yeah.
And so that will make you grumpy.
Yeah, it does make you grumpy.
It's part of life.
People complain, I hate this thing. You just got to get used to it. I'll go with the next one would be karaoke. Everybody loves, we talked about that already, but everybody loves a good karaoke, especially when the person thinks they sound good and they don't. Or if they're really bellowing it out there and you can hear it for miles. And, sometimes it gets me. I'm just one of those guys that all this list I have complained about in some way, shape, or form, except for one. But
I can't stand karaoke. Maybe it's because I can't sing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I will tell you a story. Is the karaoke bar that used to be up from the street from me is settled down. And when they fired it up, it was kind of annoying because I was trying to do a video at the time. I had to stop doing my video at home because the noise was permeating. It sort of stopped me. And so then I worked around it. I realized that at 9 o'clock at night they shut it down. They were abiding by the local rules of noise. And so, okay, I could adjust to that. But one day I was sitting outside, and it was 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and they were singing, and it was horrible, and this lady was screeching, and a baby was yelling, and then the entire house just burst out with laughter.
Right.
They were partying. I could tell they had a couple.
Have a good time.
And they were laughing, and laughter, I don't know, it's contagious.
Oh, of course.
And so I heard these people laughing. I couldn't see them, but it kind of just filled me up with this good feeling. I could just picture these guys having the time of their life. And I thought, who am I to sit there and tell them they can't yell at the microphone, you know? Rock on, kids.
Yeah.
But it still makes me grumpy.
Oh, of course. It's just, sometimes the way it hits you. But I've got, a friend that came over here, and he's married to a Filipino and went back home. He spoke about that. He loves karaoke. He said, I got to get 3 or 4 red horses in me, but no, I'm good. Yeah, I like to watch it and listen to it. But it can, I listen to my daughter on it. She likes to go on there and sing all these little silly songs and stuff. Whatever. But then one I have here is, and I've only really heard this from one guy, and sometimes it does tick me off a little bit. But you got to understand it's a language, it's not you. And when cashiers return money to you, when you've given them the money, they return it to the girl. Or you're talking to them about something and they start talking to your wife or girlfriend or whatever that is. And some guys will get really tempted. Hey, I'm the one spending the money. You got to listen to me. Or what I told one waitress, I was like, okay, I know every time when you come, you always give Arigel the change. Arigel gives a 20 peso tip. I give 50. So what do you think? Who do you want to leave it?
I've never experienced that.
Yeah, I get it all the time.
I've never heard that.
And our little buddies,
I'm not paying attention because I don't really care.
one of my buddies, he really goes off on that.
Start talking to me.
I'd rather them talk to Arigel as far as that goes, because they're going to figure out more what we need and what we're doing. And I don't get excited about that. But some guys, I don't know. I've witnessed that from a couple. Our number 9th one will be family issues. Issues with your girlfriend, special someone's wife, whatever that is. Having issues with her family, or her having issues because you're not going to give them enough money what they want, something like that. That can get kind of exciting with some guys. And what I've learned is if you have a girlfriend, you have a wife, whatever, you need to, before you ever get into that situation, this is what I can afford, this is what I'll help your family with. If there's a serious emergency, then I'll try to help more. Other than that, this is my set, a monthly amount. And a lot of guys don't do that and jump into a relationship. All of a sudden, we need $300 a month. Mom just had to have a surgery. My grandma's roof just fell in. We got to replace that. And you just gotta think. I guess pre-think and think about things before you get in.
I would say setting boundaries.
Right. Exactly.
Know up front when you're walking into a relationship. I hate giving relationship advice.
Yeah.
But my own little standard is boundaries. And from day one, no, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. Or I am doing this, or I am doing that, and sticking to it. Now, I've never had that issue with me. She's never once come to me and said I need money for my family.
No.
The money that she gives to her family comes from her own earnings. And then on occasion, I give them money too, but I just don't talk about it.
No.
And so the last time I saw them, I handed her dad and her mom each 1,000 pesos just for the hell of it. There's been 2 funerals. I paid for those because I felt that was
You can do it.
warranted.
Yeah.
That it wasn't that much money. It was like $300 or something, I think. Very simple.
Right.
No big funeral home, no big viewing, not a lot of flowers, not a carriage carrying the casket down the street. It was just a burial.
Right.
And so I paid for those just because I wanted to. No one ever came to me and said, hey, can you pay for my grandma dying? Yeah. Or this guy dying. And I said, no, I just paid for it. No one came to me. I heard about it. I said, let me pay for it. And that was that. Other guys will come here and they will be taking the woman away from the job.
Yes.
And the girl, or the woman I should say, is earning, let's just say 10,000 pesos a month.
200 bucks. Yeah.
I think it's fair because I'm taking you out of that job. Here's 10K if you can afford it. Then leave it at 10K.
Yeah.
And the minute you start hearing 12 and 15 in the emergency, to me that's a red flag.
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding,
Again,
ding.
just boundaries, limits, limitations,
Right.
and agreement and a full understanding.
Yep. Number 10. This is the big one right here. We talked about this over the last few days on a couple occasions. Number 10 would be us corners talking about each other. Or complaining about each other.
The women do.
Yeah, that's what my wife told me. You say what?
Right.
She said,
Because you and me were talking on the phone, and we were ragging on anything and everything, no matter what the topic was.
Yep.
And we were just teeing off, and somewhere along the line you go, you know, my wife was right.
she says, you guys are worse at chicken than we are.
We're sitting here bullshitting about who knows what.
Yeah.
And no matter what came across our radar, we were gossiping.
Yeah. And can you believe what's going to do this? And you can believe it. Oh my God.
And his wife had told him that we were worse than the girls were.
She goes,
and somewhere along the conversation, it was either Monty or I said, your wife is right.
Yeah,
He said,
you
my
said
wife
it,
wasn't
yeah.
me. I said, your wife is right. We are worse than the
absolutely
women.
right.
So you got to be cool when you're talking to somebody that you trust them, and usually the nonsense that you talk about is harmless anyway.
Yeah, it's nonsense anyway.
It's just you're not going to remember it after 10 minutes after the conversation. But I think it's very, very important to be very careful before you start to assassinate someone's character,
Oh yeah.
their abilities, or whatever.
Yeah, talk
If they
behind their
personally
backs.
harm you.
Right.
And third-party information, I don't believe for a second.
Yeah.
I have to see it and hear it with my own
My
eyes,
dad said
my
that
own
too.
ears.
He said, I don't believe nothing I hear and only half of what I see.
Right on. So, yeah, other foreigners can really stir the pot sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And that's only because you allow it to happen. And so unless I witness it, see it, or somebody says
Who cares?
in my face, I don't give a shit.
If you can't be part of the solution to fix that problem, you shouldn't have it in your mouth.
Right.
Right. And you know, the last thing I'd like to say on this video would be, guys, when you're going, okay, I'm going to come to the Philippines. My life's miserable in the USA. Relationships are hard to come by. I've got all these issues that I'm dealing with here. I'm going to take myself and move myself to the Philippines, and so I'll have a better life. If you bring all that with you, nothing's going to change. Matter of fact, it's going to multiply here, you know, because things are going to aggravate you and make you grumpier. And you just got to leave all that behind, come here, start you a new life, make you a new group of friends, find you a nice woman or not, you know, be by yourself, whatever turns you on. But just come over and expect to be happy, and you'll be happy. You come over here and you want to be grumpy and miserable, just stay home. Don't even bother. Nothing's going to change. Maybe the rent, the atmosphere, the weather. Other than that, nothing's really going to change for you.
I'll modify that a little bit, you know, and put my spin.
Sure.
I think it's easier said than done to say leave all your problems behind.
Okay.
Because sometimes they're going to stay in your memory bank, this hard drive.
Oh, yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, you had an issue, a problem, a habit, or whatever, and you may not be able to unpack all of that in one day.
All right.
But what I have noticed in my own life, so I'll use myself as an example, is when I got on that plane, I really felt like I did leave a lot of nonsense behind,
Oh,
and I
of course.
did. So I was able to do what you just suggested. However, not all of it.
Not all of it, yeah.
But over time, I didn't change me. The Philippines changed me.
Right.
And me being around this atmosphere and the people and the attitudes gently chipped away and allowed me to shed a few layers of skin that were still remaining. that off of you, settle you down, hopefully cure it. And if you can't forget it, at least you let it teach you to deal with it, and that there's bigger and better things ahead. The past is in the past,
Right.
and today is a gift. That's why they call it the present.
Right.
And the future hasn't happened yet. So, negative thoughts, irritability, and aggressiveness, all of that. It's a great place to come and work on refining yourself.
Right.
It's the way fine metals are refined by going through hot fire. And sometimes you got to walk through a real hot fire in order to get some of the impurities out. So I think the Philippines does a pretty damn good job of burning off those impurities that you may bring with you.
Right. You're walking through the Robinson Mall or walking down the street or whatever, everybody sees you smiling at you. They're laughing and joking. You know, just super happy. People, it's hard to stay, you know, all that's going on around you.
Yeah.
That's true. All of these things on here, I was totally guilty of when I got here, and I had to work on myself. My wife worked on me. You know, I don't want to hear about politics. I'm not from your country, and I can care less of what's going on over there.
Yeah.
So I don't even care about my politics here, let alone New York.
And one thing too is if you bump into somebody that is constantly going on a topic that you're not interested in, I just listen to them and then I make a mental note. And when I see them again, I'll wave, I'm nice, but I don't want to go out of
Take
my
care.
way to come hang out with them again because I know what's coming.
Right. We're all guilty of that.
Yep.
At some point, but I don't do the politics. I do a little bit of the religion. Other people like it or not. I'm Christian. You are. We just, you know. But
You know what?
I don't go and pour it on somebody's head.
There's plenty of guys that
Oh yeah, there's plenty.
If you're into religion or anti-religion, whatever we're
There's-
involved,
yeah,
there's
there's-
plenty of guys that do group love.
Yeah,
There's
you
no
would
problem with that.
Yeah.
Like minds, birds of a feather, and all that kind of stuff. But for me, if the conversation's going through a weird place and I don't want to join in, just politely
Gotta go.
myself and say I gotta go.
Oh my gosh, it's 10 minutes till 12 and I have a 1 o'clock appointment. I gotta get to the time.
Gotta go.
But yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you, Paul, so much for coming on the channel with me. And
Thanks for having me, man.
I enjoyed the time this morning at Tom Tom's and coming over here. It's a cool place to come to.
Yeah.
All right, guys. See you soon.